Hey there, welcome to another episode of Behind the Mask. I'm your host again, Sarah Joy, your friendly neighborhood interrogator turned clone, helping you get to know who the person is behind the screen name. And tonight, after wheeling and dealing and her interview last week or last month, oh my gosh, what even day is it? We're chatting with Krystal.
Hi.
You may know her soon from the Otherplace, and she is super active on our Nightcast Creative Discord. Hello, Krystal.
Hi, Sarah Joy, SJ. Sorry, I forget which.
Hi. That's okay. I forget which one too. Yes. So let's tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am not feeling very prepared, but
you don't have to be. That's okay. That's why I'm here. The goal of this question is for you to tell us what you want us to know about you. Just to start off, and we'll get like the rest of it as we go. Don't worry, everybody really wants to hear from you. I'm kidding.
Okay. Well, I am here because of my husband Andrew. Really, he got me into this, and then because Mark asked us to do something before he knew who I was, and I said okay. So then Andrew said you have to come on the Nightcast server to do that thing, and so I got here, and now I'm here, and I hang out with y'all.
Yes.
I am an artist and a mother. And I used to have a job outside my house, but I don't really lately. I do some copywriting and copy editing from
Oh,
home.
that's awesome.
I feel like I used to be a lot more interesting, but lately not a lot is going on.
Disagree with this. I disagree. First off, I too don't work outside of my home, but I do different things, and you happen to be raising multiple human children.
Yep.
Yeah.
Daughters.
Say what?
Oh, two daughters.
Whoa. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's awesome. They're the coolest people ever.
Oh, yay. So they're not teenagers then.
They're very little people, very cool little people.
Awesome. Cool little people are the best. And we will not give them their actual names on here. So anytime you want to talk about them, just use a different name.
Okay.
And we'll just mix it up every single time so you don't have to remember the name. You just rename them constantly.
I just call them the eldest and the youngest.
Oh, I like that. That's awesome.
But
all right. So you said you do some copywriting right now and some copy editing. That is a very particular skill set. Like, it's very difficult. Anytime you want to talk about
it is actually kind of.
And we'll just mix it up every single time.
I don't know what to say about that except
rename them constantly.
I really enjoy it, but I take a long time, and I'm kind of.
Right, but that's good.
I'd only been doing it like I've been doing it like for my whole life for various reasons and people and jobs and stuff, but only in the last few years did like freelance professionally, and so I don't still feel super confident or like that whole angry. What's it called?
The imposter syndrome?
That, yes. So I'm like, I take a really long time because I'm really particular and I want it to be like just right. And so I'm always like, this is, I don't know, probably other people are faster. I don't know.
Right, but like other people might be faster, but they're not as good as you are.
Right?
So
exactly.
Yeah. Yes. There we go. Beating imposter syndrome. We're gonna keep doing this, which is awesome, right? Because a lot of us on here are creators and do different things in industries that need copywriting, and some of us are really bad at it. So like now we have an awesome resource, right?
Oh, thanks.
And we know that you're a perfectionist with it. Yes. Awesome. And then you're raising two awesome kids, and you used to do some stuff beforehand that is currently playing into what we're doing right here on video. I'm going to give you the really not subtle hint videos. So tell us about that.
My professional background is mostly in what I call production design in cinema, video. I did all kinds of stuff. My favorite stuff is hands-on making things. That's true about everything in life. I like to make things, lots of things.
Tell us more about that. Yeah.
Well, like
We'll
to
start with
just
in production
yeah,
design.
okay.
How do you hand make things in that?
Like props and sets and building things and painting things and
Okay.
so like I've been obsessed with behind the scenes and making of stuff since I was a little girl. I would buy the books out to like behind the scenes movies, for the internet and everything. And
Oh my God,
one
that's
of
so cool.
one of
Great.
my first movies
We
that I
lived
remember
before the
being
internet.
yeah. One of the first movies that I remember like getting obsessive about just the creation of it was The Addams Family when we were little, like the one with the Christina Ricci.
Yes.
And it was so cool. And I'd watch movies over and over. Movies have always been a big part of my life and stories, love stories. And it's especially when they're not real. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, what I meant is like fantasy, not just,
Right.
not, like, not just regular narrative stuff that happens in our normal life setting,
Hmm.
but fantasy things where you get to create a new world and make beautiful backgrounds and stuff that isn't real that you have to literally make visually, which was always a lot more fun too when you don't have to do with like green screen. Like Jim Henson is, obviously huge inspiration and all the stuff he would create by hand and all that. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So, have we seen anything that you have done?
I didn't like work in Hollywood, sort of. uh, I went to school for
Sort of.
it.
Uh-huh. Tell us
Went
more. Tell us more.
Oh, I studied digital cinema with a minor in graphic design, and then I did lots of internships on sets and did, student works. So the student set stuff, so you wouldn't see that. It's not like great stuff, but it was fun
Hey,
and good
some student
experience.
stuff has gone like above
That's
and
true.
beyond.
I
Yeah.
don't know about the ones I was on, but
That's
I
okay.
have
That's okay.
I did a few things that are on IMDb as like, but they're not huge. So
It doesn't, we are a
no,
set
you
of
wouldn't.
nerds who like very particular things. So give us the obscure. Give us the obscure.
That was really obscure. One of them is just called Camp. I was on the
Mm.
art department for that, and I did like what was it, Andrew? Did I do second camera or some assistant? I don't know. I did something to help with the camera department a few days. It's a long time ago, and it all muddles together. So I'm good at
I
pulling
totally love
focus.
that.
My perfectionism is really good at like pulling focus. If you see things out of focus on movies, I'm like,
Ooh.
oh.
You're like, it's wrong. It's wrong. I like that. That's awesome. That's
Well,
awesome.
yeah, I did continuity, like script
Uh-huh.
supervision stuff. So that kind of thing where you make sure it's all, things match scene to scene and wardrobe's the same and props. My one of my biggest thing, like you were commenting earlier, was set dressing and props and putting them in the right spot and making it look just right composition wise. I'm super visual. So making
Before
sure
the live stream, Krystal was back there setting the blankets. And I was like, what are you doing? Just blankets. She's like, I have to set them. I'm like, don't look at anything back here at all.
it was that I didn't know why this blanket was here, and I just had to check it, and then kind of
Sure.
tweak it a little. But I'm not like
That's
I don't. My
awesome.
house is also a wreck, so this is a cute corner at the moment.
Ah, I understand. I live in a renovation project, so I understand. So there's a question in the chat. Number one, Chaos Mod would like to point out that continuity editors are the unsung heroes, and I would also like to agree because things that are wrong drive me insane.
Right? When they're wrong, you notice, and it really pulls you out of the
Yes,
story.
yes, it does. Andrew has an excellent question. What was your senior project?
Oh, Andrew, it was called From Below. Wow,
Ooh,
I just
okay.
suddenly forgot the title. And
Uh-huh.
my husband was the director, and he found
Uh-huh.
the script by some person online and was like, "Hey, can we turn your script into a movie?" So we did because he said we could, and
Uh-huh.
it was really hard work. And okay, this was actually kind of cool. We lived in a
Okay.
small town. Our school was in a small town in Northwest Arkansas, but there was a grocery store that had gone under and was
Mhm.
vacant, and just like desolate, and I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in the back of a grocery store, but it was this huge, basically empty concrete warehouse, and there was even like an underground section with these giant like fans in the wall. And this
Oh
movie
my
was
God.
about like a dystopian time where people were living underground because they thought it wasn't safe or something. And so
Uh-huh.
we had to build an entire like small, what would look like a small town underground, and like in this empty grocery store that they gave us permission to use.
Oh my God, that's the coolest.
And I think I like almost failed several classes because we spent every hour working on that shoot, on that production. But it was cool. I made a lot of stuff by hand. I built stuff and made props and everything. None of it looked like real life, so it was a lot of work.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Can we see that somewhere? Yeah,
I
Mark, I'm
kind of
right with
hope
you.
not, but I don't know.
What? What do you mean you kind of hope not? I
I
think
mean,
that's
it
gonna be
wasn't
amazing.
probably is. Where you're hard on yourself and stuff. You're like
Right, right,
it's
right.
a
That's
student
okay.
it's a student work.
Drop
And
it
I
in the
remember it being like
chat.
all the things that I wanted to go a certain way didn't, because you don't have endless resources. And, you want it to be perfect, and so much wasn't.
Mm-hmm,
But it was
mm-hmm.
still an experience, and we learned a lot, and it was kind of cool.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. So can we watch it somewhere?
I
And
don't know. Andrew
Andrew,
will have to tell you.
yes, I was gonna say our amazing behind the
Oh,
scenes
yes.
person, Andrew, who we appreciate so very much for doing all of these things, is going to drop that link sometime in the Behind the Mask chat. And what that means is that you all can go onto our Discord at Nightcast Creative and check it out. I know I made that plug.
Yay.
So now, Krystal,
Yeah,
when you were interviewing me last week, we're just going to pretend like it was last week because
totally.
again, time has no meaning here.
December was, whew, this whole year,
Right.
but especially
God,
December.
that's right. It's next year. Oh my
I'm not
gosh.
ready, and
What
it's already
even?
here.
Yes, I
Not
know.
ready for
I know.
2023. I have no choice.
2023. Right. This is the future. We've literally reached the future. I don't know what to do now. So yeah, so when you were interviewing me, you said that you had interviewed people before. It was something that you'd done a lot online. Tell me about that.
Yes. Not the interviewing wasn't online, but I was talking to you online when I said that. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair.
In between like narrative pieces and movie stuff, there was always lots of the easy work, the temp job stuff. Not easy, but the easy to get work is just like corporate stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
most of it is talking head interviews to sell things, be honest, or tell it. I mean, they would say to tell their story. So I've been behind the camera interviewing so many people. It's such a blur. We did stuff there's a lot of stuff from like churches and nonprofit
Uh-huh.
organizations. There was, for a while, we were working for a production, not a, what's it called? PR, a PR firm. When we
Oh
lived in
yeah, yeah.
Arkansas, the headquarters
Mm-hmm.
for Walmart is up there. So they were a big client. And so we did a lot of stuff with Walmart to tell like the employees' story. They have like this thing I didn't know about, but up there, everybody acts like everyone knows about it. The yearly shareholders meeting is like a giant festival
Mm.
that Walmart puts on. And
Okay, okay.
for like their all their employees and their shareholders, and like the year that we were there, the MC was Hugh Jackman, so like it's a big deal, and they get
Oh
these
my
huge
gosh.
bands, like there are major bands like playing. It's like a big concert. I don't know, it's crazy, but we were there to
The
like
Walmart party that we didn't know about.
I know it's weird
Oh my God. Okay,
or amazing.
okay.
I don't know. I didn't go to the events, but I was like on the outskirts we'd do like set up things to have
Mhm.
people come and tell their story about why it was so awesome to work there, blah blah blah. And so that was the thing. We did a commercial with the guys from Duck Dynasty for them once because they were selling stuff at Walmart.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We've met some
Did you
random
interview them? Were
celebrities.
you behind the camera interviewing them?
I don't know if I don't think I was. I was makeup that day, so I combed his beard. He stole my
Oh,
Sharpie. But he was really nice. He was nice. I remember
I like
he was
the two things you remember. I combed his beard and he stole my Sharpie in that order.
he was very nice and patient, and we had to do a little like powder and touch up stuff for camera, and then
he stole your Sharpie.
Yeah, I remember because I was a student at the time and I was really poor, and he was like, "Yeah, can I just have this?" Because he had to go and do something, and I kind of made a face, and then he was like, people that aren't like at that moment poor don't really get it, so he was just like, he was kind of like, why aren't you giving me the thing I'm asking for? And I was like, I just bought that, and I need my supplies. But
Walmart didn't give me this Sharpie.
Right.
Oh my God.
So that's what I remember. It stood out, but they were nice people. It was cool. I did makeup and hair, and then a little bit of pop stuff to set up the products that he was interacting with. It was kind of a silly commercial.
Gotcha. We're gonna have to find this, and we're gonna be like, "Where's Krystal's Sharpie? Can you see it? Can
I'm now
see
afraid.
it?"
I'm like, I forgot for a second. We're not just in the server. Like, I don't know. It could get, if this guy watched it, they watched it sometime.
Sharpie. That's cool. I mean, we do have a huge fan base around the world. Like, it's pretty amazing. They love us in the Philippines. They also used to love Duck Dynasty. Now that they know that he stole your Sharpie, they're not into it anymore. We're gonna start like a feud between Behind the Mask and Duck Dynasty.
I don't want to disparage anybody.
It's not disparaging when it's true.
Yeah.
We'll get your Sharpie returned to you years later. It's probably dry. It's terrible. Oh my gosh.
I'm okay now. I have my own set. I'm good. I'm no longer a starving student.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Well,
no worries.
Excellent. It worked out well for you then. That's good.
Yeah.
I will never look at Duck Dynasty. I don't watch it. So
no, yeah. So like a long time ago.
Right. Is it even on anymore?
I doubt it.
Is that even a thing? Okay.
I don't watch TV anymore, really. So I don't know.
I only watch streaming and only people's channels that I mooch off of. So I feel that. Okay. I'm going to go to the chat for some questions, or else I'm going to get really into this. How did he steal that from you? What happened? Can I take it back?
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about, you were talking about loving stories, right? And what is the first story you remember? I don't know if this is in there. I just decided to ask you this.
Sure.
Sorry.
Wow. Ever it's so hard to go back to early childhood, right? First story. Who knows? Probably a Bible story. I don't know.
Okay. Do you remember which one made an impact on you?
I mean, well, a lot of them, but
all of them.
That's such an interesting question. I'm trying to think, what about just so right now, as a mom with little kids, I read a lot of stuff to them. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the first story I remember is, but I know that I read a lot of Beatrix Potter to them. And I have very strong memories of the little books of mine that I had. And the one that was my favorite was The Two Bad Mice. Super cute.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
It is. I remember such pretty drawings too, or paintings.
Oh my God, they're beautiful. Do I remember Jeremy Rabbit? Was there a Jeremy Rabbit?
There's Jeremy Fisher the frog and Benjamin
That's
Bunny.
maybe what I remember. Oh, Benjamin Bunny.
Peter Rabbit.
Benjamin Bunny. Not Peter Rabbit.
Cousin Benjamin.
Oh my goodness.
I know way too much about Beatrix Potter.
No, that's really good. So tell me more about how did you get introduced to Beatrix Potter and stories?
Oh wow. I mean, the general way your parents read you books and you have them at home. I guess I'm fortunate that my parents also loved books. Remember when I was little, my dad saying that no matter what you need, if you want books, we'll always make sure that you can have that. That even if we were lacking in something, I don't really know why he was saying that. We were okay, but he's like, we will always make sure that we have what have books that you want and need. So that's been a thing in
Oh,
my life.
it's amazing. Yeah. Is that something that you found that you've passed on to your kids then?
Oh yeah. We literally this week we bought bigger bookcases because we're like they're spilling out and we don't know where to put them, so we need bigger bookcases.
Yes,
So
you
yeah.
do excellent. Never get rid of books.
Yeah.
Buy more bookcases.
We make sure that they always get books that they're like, Christmas and stuff. Little
Oh,
like
I
the
love
baby
that.
birthdays when you have like little kid birthdays. I'm like, please
Uh-huh.
don't bring toys. Just we did for like our first daughter's second birthday, which was like
Hmm.
her first real party. We were just like, please just bring a book or nothing. Like that's fine too. just books.
Right. Book or nothing.
I mean, I said it way different and better than that. But
Oh my
like I
God, I
said, I'm
love
not good at
that.
writing on the fly, but I
Oh,
can
me
think
either.
through what
Me
I'm
either.
writing.
Yeah, I love that. But I like the bring a book or nothing. Right. I like the sound of that better.
I should have just been threatening like that. That would have worked out better, probably. No.
Nice. Oh my God, I love it so much. So yeah. So then what stories through your adolescence and teen years were the most influential for you?
um, Hobbit, Tolkien.
Okay. Hmm.
In like middle school, one that most mentally stands out to me is Watership Down, ironically
Mm.
also about rabbits. Uh,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and that one is more so like I don't even remember as much like plot details, but it was that it was that year, I think it was like 8th grade or something.
Hmm.
We were doing this weird system I hadn't heard of before. It was like a new school for me, called Accelerated Reader. I'm sure a lot of people know about it, where they had like a computer program and you had to like you'd have to read these certain books for certain points or something. I don't remember how it worked.
Oh, okay.
But everybody was supposed to read some certain book. Oh, it was Animal Farm, famous book.
Oh, so
But
it's like I see this trend, right? We start with the Beatrix Potter. That's the gateway drug. We go to Watership Down and then we go to Animal
no,
Farm.
no, no. Listen, this is interesting though. My we were supposed to read Animal Farm, or I was, or I don't know how it works. Everybody had to read the same thing or not, but that was
Uh-huh.
apparently what I was supposed to be reading. But my teacher, who was very kind and cared and knew who I was as a person, was like,
Aw.
"So you're not going to do well with this book. So you don't have to read it. Here's one that I think will do better for you." And she gave me Watership Down, and I got to read that one. And I've to this day, I've never read Animal Farm, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, okay. It's dark.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it's
so
Orwell.
she gave me this other one, and to me that was really cool because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I felt special and like cared for, that she was like, this is more for you because I'm really sensitive and
Oh,
like
oh yeah.
a huge
Animal
empath.
Farm was not it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember, yeah. My mom being like, I don't know about you reading these Holocaust books. It's going to be a hard time for you in middle school, stuff like that. So I think that
Oh yeah,
somehow,
like Diary of Anne Frank.
yeah, no, I remember it was like Night by Eli Wiesel or Weisel.
Oh, I haven't read
Weisel.
that.
I'm sorry. Sure I said that wrong, but Night.
Mm,
And,
yeah.
I mean, it's a tragic point of history. So all the books are that way. But I think she
Right.
had heard about that I was having a hard time with it. And so she was like, let's give you this other thing. So anyway, that was a powerful
Oh,
book in my adolescence, and also because of the good teachers.
awesome. That's awesome. And that's important to know, right? Especially we as adults who are dealing with, smaller human beings, that we have such an impact on them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, for real, I'm going to do one from the chat. Oh my gosh. Apparently, there's a story about Muppets. Is there a story about Muppets?
Yeah, it's not as exciting as anyone thinks, though. uh, okay, so like I said, I like making things and building things, and Jim Henson is like kind of a hero. Like I just wanted to
Mhm.
make all the things and be on set and be a part of. I wanted to be anyway, part of that. So when we were in LA for a little while because of something we were working on, I was like, we have to go find the creature shop. So I just looked it up on the internet, the address, and,
Mhm.
it was our right after or during our senior year. So we in college, so we were married students, both in cinema, and we were working on our senior projects to like get out
Mhm.
there, to have demo stuff to get jobs and whatnot. So we had one of our things in graphic design was we had to have our business cards and our leave behinds all ready. So I was like, why not go to the creature shop and give them my business card and see if they will give me a job? Maybe they need
Mhm.
interns. I don't know. It was a dream. So we looked it up and we found the address. We went there and it was like this weird back gate of a place. Like it did not have a sign. They didn't want you to know they were there, though the address is on the internet.
I mean, yeah, like, don't put your address on the internet then.
So I walked up and knocked on the door and it was like kind of gated and somebody opened it like, who are you? Why are you here? Like what? They wouldn't even let
I'm
me in.
imagining they were a Muppet, but yes,
That would be
continue.
so great. He was just this little guy, some guy, and he was kind of short, I remember.
His his skin was green. It was fine.
and and he was nice enough, but also like was not super excited to see me. So I got all like dressed up, it looked cute and everything, but gave him my
You're
card
like,
and I just said like
"Ugh."
I've always wanted to work with you guys and I wondered if you had any internships or openings or I don't know what I said, but that was the gist of it. And he was
Mhm,
just like,
mhm.
okay, thanks. And he took my card and left. But it was funny because they
At least
were
he
like,
took your
he was
card.
like, you weren't supposed to know that we are here or that's what this is. And no, I'm not gonna like, I didn't ask, but he was basically like, no, you can't have a tour. You can't come in. I thought it would be way more exciting. It wasn't that exciting. It's not a great story, Mark. Sorry.
Oh, it is a good story though, because you were bold and you still followed through with asking for the internship and handing your card, and he wasn't a jerk and he took your card. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great story. And Jim Henson, Creature Studio, may Jim Henson rest in peace, but Jim Henson Creature Studio. I know you all are huge fans of this show. So bring Krystal on,
Right?
like let's do some work from home stuff. We all do it now. Just bring her on. You got this.
Love that.
Okay.
Ugh, I miss production so much. I miss making things and seeing people in real life. That's okay. I mean, I see people, but like working on set is I just love it so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you'll get there, right?
Yeah.
You'll get back to that. And we'll just all make when they make Behind the Mask the movie, we'll all be together.
That would be so fun. I would love that.
That's right. It's gonna be amazing. It's a thriller. Okay. Ooh, what's your favorite book ever?
I'm just gonna go with what I said before. I don't know the books that it's so hard. Do other people just have one off the top of their head? I'm not good at that.
I No, I have like six and it changes on the day. I probably have more than that.
I mean, it might be The Hobbit. I mean, just a general one that I just have great memories of and love. But I love a lot of books. So many books I like a lot. Also, like some of I don't know, I have some cool art books I really love. Ooh,
Ooh.
one of my favorite things I have on my shelf is
I like that you're totally like looking up and over at your bookshelf right now.
I can you see that? One of my favorite things on my bookshelf is when we were still pretty early married for my birthday, Andrew bought me the complete collection of Calvin and Hobbes back when it was still hardcover with like linen and gold binding and it's
Mhm.
massive and so unwieldy, but it's a treasure and I love it so much.
Aw, that's so fun. That's awesome.
Just
So
really,
like,
really want Bill Watterson to be my friend. I just want to be friends with him, but he's not
aw,
friends with people. I'm sure he has friends, but he's very reclusive, and I respect that.
right, right. Oh, that's awesome. So I'm curious then, what got you into gaming?
Andrew. Uh,
Okay, tell me more about that. Tell us more about that.
um, I'm just gonna assume you're talking about RPGs right now.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember what got him into it, but when a while back
Doesn't
he got
matter.
into
We're
it.
talking about you.
Yeah, sure. So he was doing it for a while, and I think like along. Anyway, I don't need to go that. Let me think this through for a second.
Totally fine. Totally fine. And
Somehow he
Chaos
got
Mom
involved.
says board games are fine
Yeah.
too.
Well, okay. I mean, that's board games like anybody else. There's no special story there. For me.
A lot of people don't play board games anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sad.
It's like,
yeah,
and not everybody grew up playing them.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yes, thank you, Andrew. I know I can see an inch on the back behind I have our screen, and then there's an inch of the chat, and I can see just an inch side of what I know is linked to the past.
yes, it is. I'm looking at it in Zelda.
You can see the green and the trough, and I know what that is. Anyway, I guess my video gaming started as a kid with with Nintendo with the Super Mario Bros. And I had my own little TV, my CRT in my room at the end of my bed, and I could beat that game in like 20 minutes. It was so fast. And then I got the Super Nintendo, and I loved Link to the Past. Loved it. And then sometime later, video games started getting joysticks and 3-dimensional, and that's where I checked out.
Hard same.
So, I'm like, I think it was just the timing also of like just happened to be in line with the age that I was, where I just wasn't as interested anymore.
Right.
But
suddenly nothing was cool.
I don't know. I didn't want to have to learn 3-dimensional toggles, and it's hard for me.
Yeah.
So I'm good with my side to side, up and down.
I highly recommend the Switch. That is a lot easier, and they've got a lot of what did I play on there recently? Link's Awakening.
He bought one. We have one. I just don't have time to play them. It's kind of a bummer. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? But it's 2023, right?
Exactly.
So
figure it out.
Are there any things that you thought would happen in 2023 that, like, when you were a kid, that you're sorely disappointed about that we don't have?
I mean, we definitely thought it was going to be like the space age, and we would have different like space clothes and stuff as a kid. Anyway, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Hard same. Disappointed in our space clothes.
Yep. It's not Jetson's world.
No. So, okay, let's go back to gaming.
Right.
We got the Zelda. So, like, what was your first RPG you played in?
Very technically, I think I barely remember. I think my freshman year of college was some friends pulled me into that vampire game everybody knows.
My God, Vampire the Masquerade.
And it's so funny because I barely remember it, and I also remember being really bored, and sitting in like my friend's dorm room. My friends with a bunch of guys. I'm always friends with guys, and there was like one girl there. I don't remember who it was. All I remember is the guy friends, and they were like really into it, and I didn't know what was going on, and I don't think I was well prepared. And then, so that was a one-time thing, and then years and years later, and I like basically forgotten this. Some of those same friends, but like a decade later, got us into, what was it, Andrew? Is it the Dresden thing? Is that a thing? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know if there's I'm sure there's a Dresden. Yeah, he says it's for the Dresden Files. Fate? Oh, it was based on the Fate system for the Dresden Files.
They know.
Maybe, yeah.
They know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. I never know. I never know.
You're just here. You're just here. I did not get into the Dresden Files, so I don't have a ton of information on that.
I tried. It was also like this, but like 10 years ago when we tried to do it via the computer, and it was, or even like, more. I don't know. It was a really long time ago.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out. And so there's long time between RPGs, and then no more after that one time. And then Andrew got into it, and he was doing recordings, and then he got into meeting Mark somehow in Nightcast, and then was producing shows, and Mark's doing stuff, and he asked Andrew to do something, and then he was like, hey, do you and your wife want to do a thing? Which I think is really funny how long ago this was now, because I did not know. Anyway, Mark was like, do you and your wife want to do a thing? Oh, Ben came. Hi, Ben. Sorry. And then I got all thrown off. So
No,
Andrew's like, well,
so
if you're going to
yeah.
be in Mark's game or show or podcast or whatever, you have to join Discord. You have to be there, Krystal, even though you don't want any more apps on your phone, because I just don't like apps and I don't like social media. He was like, you have to be there so you can get information and know what's going on. So I begrudgingly signed up. And then after a while longer, some people were doing a play-by post, and I was maybe invited or asked about it or something and joined, and that was fun and exciting.
uh-huh.
And we're still waiting to do the thing Mark asked about. And that's before you didn't even know who I was. Like
That was
so
the bait. You didn't know. We just had to like throw a little tidbit out for you, and then like you just scooped it back in, and then we had you, and you don't understand that you can never leave us now.
yeah. No, I wouldn't want to. I'm so glad.
Yay!
I do think
I
it's funny
love it.
though when I was like Andrew, because the games are long, and when you're not
Mhm.
playing them and you're waiting for your significant other to be done playing them, it's kind of like, what are they doing? Why is this taking so long? It felt really bad in retrospect. I still remember them playing, and like one time I finally tried to like listen in because he played it like live on YouTube with AJ and
Mhm.
Chris. I was like,
Oh
this is.
yeah,
I was like, they're really funny. That's pretty fun. And then
yeah. Because he
people,
did. Let's see, you were on Dicey Cantina, and I know that you did some voices for the other place, and you've
I've
done
done.
some voices for other people too.
It's true.
Uh huh.
I'm
Uh
happy to help. I'm really good about reading scripts. I think I'm okay with reading dialogue that's prepared for me.
huh.
I'm still figuring out the improv thing. So
Yeah.
I I grew up in theater and stuff, and then I really realized I just prefer to be backstage. I was even before I got into cinema, I was doing prop stuff and set design on, musicals and stage stuff, and just didn't really want to be in front of the camera or on stage. And I'm not great at improv, and so I'm still figuring out how to do RPGs. I've been doing it, I guess, for about a year now, but not very
Awesome.
frequently.
I bet you're doing better than you think you are too, because let's go back to that imposter syndrome. So we're going to reframe that to you're doing an awesome job and having a lot of fun,
It
right?
is really
Because that's what
fun
it's about.
because the people are fun. You guys are so fun.
Yes.
And I just like hanging
Oh,
out and listening and watching.
and
I
that's
love the
like basically
stories.
RPGs.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you guys are good at telling stories, and sometimes I get to hang out and be a part of that. Is how I see it. And I'm trying to be
And
more
you do well at
interactive.
telling stories. Yeah. And it's right. So I'm interested. Like I think you're a shy person,
Yes,
because it
sort
took
of.
me a lot to get you on here. So, um, how have you found, like, especially the RPG and the storytelling, the collaborative storytelling, to draw you in? Like,
I think.
what things? Yeah, we're getting
I'm
to the
sorry.
question. I know I'm like mid processing. I'm like, crap. What do I want to say? Um, what is it about this format that is so exciting to you, and so let's start with that. What
Good
is so
question.
exciting to you about this format?
Man, I don't even know. I'm like, want someone else to answer. Just what is so exciting about it? I don't know.
To
Uh,
you. If nobody
I
else can
know,
answer
I
for
know. It's
you,
so weird.
forget
I'm
them.
just like, I don't know how to answer my own questions. Um, mm, I guess just story on the fly is exciting that I guess that you don't know what's going to happen. I'm pretty good at figuring out uh formulas for, plot of movies. I mean, most of us are probably that watch a lot of movies probably are, but being involved in scripts and script writing and script editing and production and watching them my whole life, I kind of know what's going to happen often.
Mhm.
And it's pretty cool to have no idea when we have a bunch of random people all deciding something on the fly together. There's
I love
every
that.
game is a snowflake. You never know.
That is so true in so many ways. It like all gets all melty and spreads all over the place, and you're like, "Did I really want this snowflake in the first place?"
Also, it's
Yes,
beautiful and multifaceted.
yes,
Or
way
it's
to spin
gooey
that
and wet,
back.
whatever.
Yep, role playing. It's beautiful and multifaceted, or gooey and wet. I love that. Oh my goodness. So, what from kind of like RPGs have you been able to take away and use like in your everyday life?
I don't know. Oh, well, my daughter's knocking and staring at me now. Go to bed, sweetheart. I love you. Oh, we can't
You're
talk
very
right now.
cute, small
I
human.
love you. Go to bed.
You're not old enough to be on camera yet. I'm sorry. YouTube has rules about that.
Yeah. But okay. That's such a good question. And it's the kind of question I'm much better at thinking over like all day and trying to figure out an answer to.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm curious. I'm curious if it's helped your interaction with people and like helped you kind of feel more comfortable to meet and engage with new people than you wouldn't normally or something like that. Let me give you an answer to start with.
Yeah, I mean
Then
that's
you can
very
take
generous
the
of you to
fastest.
be like, here's something to say. um I want to say I can't put my finger on it, but something like weirdly more like underlying about um I guess something I've learned is how to
Uh-huh.
try to be um no. Sorry, let me start over. This is not what you asked, but a thing that I've gotten
No,
from
tell me anyway.
from it this year is
Uh-huh.
in a sort of a stretch way is trying to be like way more positive is because of the whole classic improv like yes and thing
Uh-huh.
where I realized at the beginning on accident I just kind of noticed I was like I'm being combative about things that I don't think like if I'm like no but that wouldn't make sense or blah 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 and to just go with it is kind of something I'm having to practice still and I think about a lot even just outside in my regular life of like bring like don't don't jump to like why it might not work, but roll with it more. And so I'm trying to I used to think of myself as an optimist, but then I realized I was also being kind of critical, but I didn't mean it in a negative way. I just kind of noticed it about myself. So it's like
Hmm, hmm.
I feel really vulnerable right now. So
I love that. No, 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 no. That's awesome, right? So
I
what I
don't
heard you just say is you brought yes and into your life and you're
yeah.
trying to expand like your life in that way. Cause right, like I think a lot of people are programmed to and programmed or like their tendency is to immediately be like, I'm assessing this thing and figuring out everything that's gonna go wrong because it's how my brain is keeping me safe, right?
Yes. Yep.
Hmm. Yep.
That yep. That is the
Yep.
words I should have said.
No,
Right.
your words were wonderful. I'm turning them into something else. So, but like, it's so true, right? Because
Yeah.
it's hard and it does leave you vulnerable when you do that and like even opening up and about it and being like, cool. So I was this way that I didn't super like. And I had to observe something about myself, and now I'm like taking the opportunity to see if I can bring something from gameplay into my actual life. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It it
Yeah.
is. It is amazing. It's exciting and fun because
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
so cool.
yeah. I'm really good at being at trying to be the most efficient at stuff and that is
Oh
not
yeah.
the best way to have fun in a role-playing game. And I don't want that in a game, but it's
Right.
something you have to, you have to work your brain in a different way than you're used to and it's a whole new muscle and a whole new skill set that I was just not experienced in at all.
Mhm.
And then, so I still feel like there's so much to learn. And every time I play something the next morning, I have so many thoughts and things. I'm like, oh, I learned so many things and I could do it better next time. And not better, but like have more fun and do things
Mhm.
better, but
Right.
in a good way, not like a super self critical way. Just I'm excited to act on what I've learned.
Yeah, totally. And like the more you play with a group too, I'm sure you're finding that the more comfortable you are and the more you'll kind of step outside of that box,
Hmm.
right? And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I guess I'll press that red button immediately next time. That should be fun.
Yeah. I keep being like, I want to play someone like, I don't know, kind of crazy that just is really impulsive because I'm so the opposite. I am
Yeah.
think way too hard about things, and it's as you've noticed with these questions, I'm like, I don't know how to answer quickly or do things quickly, but I would
You
love
don't
to
have to do
practice at
things
that.
quickly. It feels way slower to you than it does to anyone else.
That's probably true. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's theater,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you. Good
You're
reminder.
welcome. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what is the best jelly for PB and J?
That was a fun question, Richard. I feel like there's a story behind that that I want to know. Like, is he really into PB and J? It's pretty good. Um,
It's an excellent question.
it's an
It's a
excellent
very
question.
important thing to know.
Is it?
In the zombie apocalypse, what jelly am I getting you?
Oh, well, you're so thoughtful in the zombie apocalypse. Um, I honestly prefer with that combination, I think grape, just classic, but
Oh, okay.
in just like the jam world, because
Uh-huh.
that's a world.
It is.
Raspberry is always my favorite kind of jelly in jam. But with peanut butter, I just think grape is the better one. Just a
Interesting.
good
Okay.
combination. Or maybe I haven't had
Okay.
enough weird combinations to know what else tastes good with peanut butter. I don't
Maybe
know.
we'll just get you some more jellies. That's
What is
interesting.
what is the best flavor, Richard? I want to know yours. He's not here. I
Oh
mean, he's
my
not
goodness.
in this video interview, so
He'll
I have to
be
ask him.
right. He'll have his opportunity. He'll have his opportunity. So what musical
Cool.
artist do you feel more people need to hear?
I feel like that's a really good question for normal people that listen to a lot of music. I'm not like I love music, but I'm not
Hmm.
someone that listens to it a lot.
Okay.
Like there are people that like always have favorite bands or always have music going on, and I have like a weird kind of auditory ADD where if I'm trying to concentrate or read,
Hmm.
I cannot have music on. It ruins my concentration.
Interesting.
It like my brain will latch onto a rhythm of something and can't separate itself. I don't
That's
technically have a
so
hearing problem,
interesting.
but
Right. Yeah. No, no, no. It's like brains work different, right? For different
yeah.
reasons.
So I don't
Yeah.
have it
Like,
on a lot because I don't have a lot of opportunity where I'm just I don't know. I love uh I love old like 60s, 70s old stuff. The Monkeys
yep.
is one of
Yep.
my favorite, and people
Which
are
I
like
feel like not a lot of people have necessarily heard, right?
not in
They
our
did a
generation.
TV show. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean not a lot of people know that. The people older than me know it
Hmm.
as this stupid TV show that and they say it's all fake music because it was written for the show and it was a fake band that was created for this show. But they became a real band and they wrote their own music and they have some really fun stuff and there's probably like, there are 3 famous songs that everybody's heard, but there's other stuff that's really good. Or I have so much fun listening to it and I had a best friend in high school that he was a super Monkeys fan, and so I had to listen to it because that's what all he wanted to listen to when we hung out, and
Oh my God,
it
that's so
worked. And
fun.
I have like the old records, and I went to their a concert once, and I have something signed by Peter Tork, and
Oh my God.
yeah,
That's so cool. So when did you go to a concert? When's the last time they
Eh,
toured?
I don't know when the last time they toured. Several of them are now no longer with us.
Well, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. Rest in
As
peace.
of recently, pretty recently.
Oh
Um,
wow, okay.
I mean, fair, I don't know. Anyway, relatively speaking, and so it was like high school or maybe my first year of college. I went to a concert. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's so cool. And what did you get signed?
I actually didn't get it signed myself. I have something signed by him that a friend of mine got signed for me, which is really sweet. She met
Uh-huh.
him and got me one of their CDs and asked Peter Tork to sign it for her friend, and she mailed it to me. So
Oh,
it was sweet.
That's the cutest.
So I've seen them live. I've not met them, but I have a thing from one of them.
That's so cool.
That's just
The
a
monkey
band
super
that comes
fan.
to
I
mind.
love
I
it.
don't know.
Right, but it's just a band that has a lot of sentimental value when you went and saw and have a signed thing.
Yeah.
Just a band. Ah,
I mean, I
love
also love
that.
like Native American drum music and weird, random stuff like that. I don't know.
I support you. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I'll have to actually have something that I can send you for that. But
What?
all right. Yeah, one of my friends is super big into that.
Cool.
So yeah, this is why we talk. This is why it's so important for all of us to talk, right? Because there are so
Yeah.
many things that we have in common. I love it. Okay, what is the nerdiest thing that you're into? You were dreading this question, I know.
Okay, this one got me like really weirdly thinking deep because I was like, well, first of all, what do we even consider nerdy anymore, Mark? What is the definition of that? Because the things that, kind of essentially might be called nerdy that I was like more into several years back, and the things that I'm really into right now, I'm like nerdy about them, but the topic themselves isn't considered that. So I'm like, what are we even talking about here? But I mean, I
It's
grew up
your definition. This is
yeah.
the beautiful thing.
So what I assumed the kind of genre that came to mind, I guess my answer would be like when I was growing up, I was super into Star Wars before they had all the other Star Wars things, and it was a lot more easy to
Right.
follow. And I watched my VHS every day with my brother every day. And one of our first, Andrew and I, one of our first dates was to the Dallas Symphony Orchestra to hear Star Wars music via orchestra, and it was so beautiful because I also love,
That is the
classical music and
cutest.
stuff. And Anthony Daniels like emceed it, and it was really cool. There were stormtroopers in the like in the lobby, and it was very fancy. And we were also still poor college students, so we were like, we have no business being here. We don't know the etiquette. We're not those kinds of high class people, but it was really fun.
You're like, this is my nicest t-shirt. I washed it.
I went and bought a pretty dress, and
Oh,
it was fun. It was a good date. It was special.
I love it. Drogogrog just made a comment that I need to repeat. We were nerds back in the day when you risked your life to be a nerd. Modern nerds will never know. Yes, we were.
It's so true.
Oh my gosh.
The music
that's amazing.
always held a special place in my heart, the Star Wars music, because I would listen to it at the the end when it's finally over and the credits, and all you have, because it's just mostly black with blue letters, all you have is that amazing John Williams orchestral music. And I remember I was so young, and it was like one of the first times where I thought, I can hear the individual instruments. Like I can hear the flute, and I was just in awe. I can hear the different, like the brass, and I just thought it was so beautiful. And so it was really cool that we got to go see that happen live later in life, and it was really neat.
It is, I think, one of the finest pieces of music ever written. John Williams, freaking genius.
Yeah, no one would argue.
They should not. That is amazing. Aw. Ooh.
I'm nerdy about a lot of stuff, but
yeah. I love that. Star Wars and Star Wars music, which is appropriate that you wound up here, right?
Yeah, it wasn't hard. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't not want to be here. I just didn't know, but I didn't know what I was missing.
That's very true. That's very true, which is why everybody should come hang out. So I'm curious, now that you're getting into RPGs and stuff like that, I'm going to pair this with another kind of, what do I call these? Chat question. So the chat question is, what RPG system have you not played in that you want to play in? And then I'm going to add, who do you want to play that with?
See, I felt like that was, again, like he assumed too much of me. Like that's a question you ask people that know what they're doing or have a lot of RPGs to even know about. I don't know what.
Here's the thing.
I don't know the other systems.
None of us know what we're doing.
I don't know what else there is to want to play.
You
I want to play
all of.
I want to play all of Mark's new games. So there. Let's see. Let's name drop. What's it? The creepy crawl. What's something crawl? Sorry, Mark. I feel really bad now.
Ooh, I don't know what
And
the
the
crawl is.
House of Many Things is really fun. I got to play that once, but so I guess I played that once. Creepy crawl. I said it right.
Creepy
Okay.
crawls. Wait, Mark,
Crawls.
do you have a bunch of RPGs that I've totally not paid attention to and
Yes.
don't realize exist?
Yes, he does.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay, so House of Many Things and Creepy Crawl. Very, very important. All right, y'all. You gotta go get those. We'll put them where you can go get those.
Itch.io, I think. See, I remember.
Yes,
or I bet his
Nightcast
website.
Creative.
Yeah. Nightcast Creative.
Itch.io. Okay, we're gonna drop it on the YouTubes. So, oh my God, that's amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, no, but like those are the best, right? The ones that like not everybody knows about. So you know about these. So, okay, of those, which one do you want to play and who do you want to play with? And you've heard everybody, well, most everybody.
I technically have played the House of Many Things. I have not played the ghost one, the creepy crawls. Andrew keeps being like, "Are you sure you want to play that?" Because I'm also really scared of ghost stories. It's exactly about ghost stories. But I don't know. I want to play anything with anybody. I don't know enough about what's out there that I don't know. So you guys should tell me, Richard, tell me all the ones that I should want to play that I don't even know about.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. So what I heard is Krystal's open for
what is happening?
Krystal is open for any games. My brother's teasing me in the chat.
Is your mom watching? That's interesting.
Probably.
Does she watch these?
Yeah.
Oh,
she does sometimes.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
I mean, not my mom.
Everyone say hello to my mom. But yeah, they're like so many games to play, right? So Krystal's open to play with everyone. That's super awesome. Like, let's get some more chats going, more games going on here. And it's a great way to connect and like forge connection in a world that is so bent on tearing people apart. We're gonna fight that by playing games. Yes. So, but it is. Yeah, everyone should. You know what? If I were supreme dictator, that's how you solve problems. What's happening?
A light just went out. Just one.
It's the ghost.
I think it's a battery thing. I don't know. Andrew set up a light and it went off. Doesn't matter. It's okay.
We'll say it's a battery thing. Well, on that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, though. It is 10:30. I know there's still some more questions in the chat, and you're more than welcome to go ahead and hop on there. For everyone else, next month's guest is going to be a surprise because I'm going to message everyone tomorrow who said that they want to be a part of Behind the Mask, and we're going to get the schedule done out for the rest of the season and probably starting the third season. So we're super excited. We're going to talk to a bunch more of you.
Yay.
Everyone's going to be on the show because that's the entire point of this show is for everyone to be on it and meet more people. But Krystal, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If anybody wants to come hang out with Krystal and play games with her, you can head on over to the Nightcast Creative Discord channel and just have a great time. So friends, this is the time where we wave and we look happy as Andrew plays us out. Bye, friends. Thanks for joining us.